In this video, we're going to take a look at how to factorize two terms again, like we did in this video over here, but this time there's a difference. Using the method we showed you in the other video won't work for these ones. Okay, and I'll show you why in a moment. So, just to recap, already we've got videos here that you should have watched on how to factorize two-term expressions, four-term expressions, three-term expressions, and now again two-term expressions, but done slightly differently. So how do we do this one? And this came up in 2016. It said factorize each of the following expressions, and this was the first one that they wanted you to do. It says 25x squared minus 49n. Now, we've got 1, we've got 2. We've got two terms. So the first thing to do is to try the take out what's common method that we looked at already in this video. Okay? So you try that first. So we take a look at both our terms and we see what's in common. Is there a common number? No, there's no number that will go into 25 and into 49 except 1. You know, and 1 isn't really going to cut the mustard here. Let's try it. Is there a common letter? No. So what we would end up with would be this. And that's not factorized, because that is the same as that. So it's not going to work. The take out what's common method is not going to work. So that's because this is a different type of two-term question. This is called the difference of two squares. Now they're very straightforward to do. In some ways they're easier to do than the other one. So what do we have to do? What's the second step now that we've tried this and it didn't work? The second thing to do is you have to find the square root of the terms in the question. So we've got 25x squared. We're going to do it over here in this yellow box. And we've also got 49n squared. Right, what's the square root of 25x squared? Well, let's just worry about the number first of all. What's the square root of 25? 5. So what's the square root of 25x squared? It would be 5x and 5x. What's the square root of 49? It's 7. So the square root of 49n squared is 7n by 7n. Okay, that's step 2 done. Now step 3, you just place those answers into two brackets. So, we need two big brackets. And what goes in the first part of each bracket are the roots of the first term. So the root of 25x squared, remember, was 5x. So you put 5x there, the first thing in the first bracket, but also the first thing in the second bracket. 5x and 5x. And what was the root of the second term, 49n squared? Well, that was 7n and 7n. So we put 7n and 7n. And then the last thing we do is we put a plus and a minus. Or you could put a minus and a plus, so long as the signs are different. Always different. And that's our answer. Okay, it's as straightforward as that. We should try another one. Let's move our steps down so that we can try this next question. It came up in 2014. So if we do step 1, try to take out what's common method. What's common here? Is there a common number? No, the only common number is 1. So again, it's not going to work. So now we know that it's a difference of two squares question. So we jump straight to number 2. You find the root of each term that's in the question. So let's find the root of 9x squared. So we type into the calculator the square root of 9, and it comes out as 3. So we know the root of 9x squared would be 3x by 3x. And we find the root of this one, 16y squared. Well, we type into the calculator the square root of 16, and it comes out as 4. So we know the root of 16y squared would be 4y by 4y. So now we put down our brackets, two big brackets, and the first part comes from the first term. So it'll be 3x and 3x. And the second parts come from the second term's roots, which are up here. So 4y and 4y. And then we finish it all off by putting the signs in. Oop, just deleting those lines. And the signs, remember, have to be different. So you can either say a plus and a minus, or a minus and a plus. It makes no difference, so long as they're different. And that's the answer. Okay, so in a moment now you're going to try last year's question, 2019's question. Here it is here. Give that a go. Just before you do, remember that there is a number here. There is a number, you just can't see it. Okay, pause the video, try that question. When you have it done, press play. Okay, hopefully you gave that question a go. Let's try and answer it. So step 1, we try the take out what's common method. That's not going to work. There's nothing in common. So we jump straight on to finding the roots of each of these terms. So what's the root of a squared? Well, remember, there is a 1 here. So what's the square root of 1? Well, it's just 1. So the roots of 1a squared would be 1a by 1a. And the roots of 16n squared. Well, what's the square root of 16? It's 4. So the roots of 16n squared would be 4n by 4n. So now I get my brackets. Bracket, 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 bracket. The first part belongs to the first term, which is 1a and 1a. And the second parts of each bracket belong to the second term, which is 4n and 4n. And it's difference of two squares, so I need two different signs. I can have a minus and a plus, or a plus and a minus, so long as they're different. And that's the answer.